Set 2. A cricket analyst analyzed the batting performances of Indian and Australian teams in tests and one-day international matches in the recent India tour of Australia. She divided the batting order into three categories: top order, middle order, and lower order for the analysis. The total runs scored also included the contribution of extras, which were the runs awarded to a batting team, which were not credited to any individual batsman. The following are some facts about the number of runs scored by players from different categories for both the teams. So we have three orders: top, middle, and lower, and then we do have extras. The total number of runs scored by both the teams are the same in tests. The same is true for ODIs. So we have tests and ODIs being played between India and Australia. So the data is about the runs scored by both the teams are same in the test. Same is true for ODIs. Ratio of runs scored by Australian ODIs to those in test was 2:3. For India, the ratio of runs scored by top order, middle order, and lower order batsmen were in the ratio 3:1:2. So majorly we have India and Australia, two teams. India played ODIs and tests. Australia played ODI and tests with India. And then the categorization is based on four components. One is top order, then the middle order, then the lower order, and then extras. And the information is about all of that. Okay, so this looks like a DI, pure DI. Now let's look at the questions. Then we will, according to the questions, we will think about how should we proceed. So the first question is how many runs were scored in ODIs. So it's a definite answer. 7 is theta, 8 is theta, 9 is definite, 10 is definite. So it looks like whatever table we are going to draw, it should get completely filled. Maybe one or two cells will remain empty, but whatever we are aware of right now, it should get completely filled. So this is the table that we need, where India played ODI and test and Australia played ODI and test, top, middle, lower, or extras, and then the total runs India scored in ODI and test and Australia scored in ODIs and tests. Okay, so the first statement says the total number of runs scored by both the teams are the same in tests. The same is true for ODIs. So if they scored A and A in ODI and B in tests. The ratio of runs scored by Australia in ODIs to those in tests was 2:3. So A and B, instead of that, we are going to write 2A and 3A. That will force us to write 2A and 3A for India as well, such that ODI scores are same and test scores are same for both the countries. So we are done with the first statement. The second statement says for India, the ratio of runs scored by top order, middle order, and lower order batsmen were in the ratio 3:1:2 in test matches. So this is 3:1:2. So let's take this as 3y, 1y, 2y, such that total turns out to be 6y. So that means 3a turns out to be 6y. That means 2a turns out to be 4y in both these scenarios for both the countries. Okay, so we're done with the second statement. Third statement says there was no contribution of extras to the total runs scored by India in both tests as well as ODI. So in both ODI and tests, the extras were no contribution, as in they were 0. The next statement says for Australia, the percentage of runs scored as extras out of the total score is the same for both ODIs and test matches. So it says the percentage values are same. See, now the P percentage of 4y is going to be in the table of 4y. P percentage of 6y will be in the table of 6y. So let's say that the ratio of the runs Australia has scored is 2:3. So here also we will take it as 2:3. So let's take this as 2z and this as 3z. Okay, done with the fourth statement. Fifth one says now, The runs scored by the Indian top order in ODIs were the same as the extras for Australia in tests. So Australia in tests, the extras is 3Z. So for ODI, India top order should also be 3Z. The ratio of runs scored by the top order and middle order for India was in the ratio 1:3 in ODIs. So if this is 3Z, this is 9Z, so that it's in the ratio 1:3. Okay, the next statement says for Australia, the runs scored by top order and extras in tests were in the ratio 4:3. So we are looking at tests. Since it is in the ratio 4:3, the top order and the extra, so this gives this one as 4Z. And the runs scored by the top order and middle order in ODIs were in the ratio 2:5. Now, for ODI, we need it to be 2:5. For Australia. So let's take this as 2x and 5x. Okay, we are done with this. 50% of all the runs scored by both the teams taken together in all matches were contributed with the top order and lower order. Right now, we don't know what the lower order is, so let's leave it as such. Okay. Statement 8, the total contribution of extra runs to Australia in tests and ODIs was 35 runs. So 2Z plus 3Z, that is 5Z, is given as 35 runs. That gives us Z is equal to 7. And if Z is equal to 7, so 2Z and 3Z, they will become 14 and 21. Now, if Z is equal to 7, that will make 3Z over here as 21. 9Z will become 9 into 7, which is 63. 4Z here will become 4 into 7, which is 28. We do not have any more Z over here. Excuse me. So the lower order is going to be 4y minus, since the sum of top, middle, lower and extras is 4y. So the lower order will be 4y minus 21 minus 63, which will give us 4y minus 84. Similarly, for Australia ODI, sum is 4y, out of which we can see 14 extras, 2x and 5x. So this is going to give us 4y minus 7x minus 14. So this is the lower order value. For the test for Australia, we can't do anything right now. Okay, next statement is the lower order of both the teams scored the same number of runs in ODIs, which was 2/3 of the runs scored by Australia's lower order in tests. So if I take this as W, so the first thing that we come to know is that the lower order of both the teams scored the same number of runs in ODIs. So that tells us 4y minus 84 should be same as 4y minus 7x minus 14. So 4y gets cancelled out. So we will have 7x is going to be 84 minus 14, which is 70. So this results in x being 10. So we get x as 10. So 2x turns out to be 20. 5x turns out to be 50. And 4y minus 7x minus 14, it also turns out to be 4y minus 84. This was the first part. Then it says which was 2/3 of the runs scored by Australia's lower order in the tests. So Australia's lower order in the tests is W. So we can say that 2/3 of W is equal to 4y minus 84. So this is going to give us 2W, or we can simply write W here. 2 will cancel out, isn't it? So we'll have 2 here and 42 here. So we will have W, that is going to be, if 3 goes to the other side, it becomes 6y minus 3 into 42, which is 126. So instead of W, now we can write 6y minus 126. So we're done with the 8th statement. Let's go back to the 7th statement. It says 50% of all the runs scored by both the teams taken together in all matches were contributed by the top order and lower order. So this is another equation that we are going to have. So as per the statement, we can say that the total runs scored is 10 plus 10, 20y. So we can say 50% of 20y, this is by top and lower order. So the top order total value is going to be 69 plus 3y. And for lower order, it is going to be 446, that is 14 plus 2, 16y. And then minus 84, minus 84, minus 126. Now 126 and 84, this is 210. 210 plus 84 is 294. So 50% of 20y is 10y is equal to 16 plus 3, 19y. And this is going to result in minus 294 minus 69, which is going to give us 200 and 210, 294, and this is 79, 89, 25. So 225. This results in 9y as 225, or we will be getting y as 25. 25 into 9 is 225. Now y turns out to be 25. So that means 4y turns out to be 100. 6y turns out to be 150. 4y turns out to be another 100. 6y turns out to be 150. So we will have 100 minus 84, which will result in 16. 2y will turn out to be 50. 1y will turn out to be 25. 3y will turn out to be 75. 4y minus 84, which is same as 16 again. 6y, which is 150 minus 126, will result in 24. And now, if we look at Australia test, the entire sum should be 150, out of which we already have 60, 72, 73 we already have. So that would result in the middle order a total score of 77, sorry, not 87, 77. 73 plus 77 is 150. So this is the entire table we get. Now we can move ahead and start solving the question. So it is a pure DI set.